How's it going there today, everybody? This is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying all the content that I've been putting out, I recommend subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every single time I put out a new video. So today I wanted to talk about developing the wrist to throw the disc. The throw of the disc, it's the wrist. The wrist does the throw on a backhand and forehand. Both those shots, it's the wrist that makes the disc go. I spend a lot of time practicing just using my wrist to throw the disc. I'll take my grip and I'll kind of just stand and not really use my body, and I'll just throw from here like this. And I'll just try to throw hard as I can, and get the wrist really to pop on the throw. The more you can develop the wrist, from, that push right here, that's going to help you throw harder. The more you can do that, just get that wrist firing. But to develop the wrist, you have to throw and try to isolate it more. You don't want to throw with the whole body. You just kind of just stand and hold your disc and just try to fire from here. Just arm right in front and just throw from here. And really practice, hitting it. And it's the same thing with the, forehand. When you throw the forehand, it's the fingers that throw the disc. And the quicker you can push the disc, with your fingers and your wrist, the harder you're going to throw it. So I do the same thing. I'll sit here and just kind of stand, and I'll just throw from here like that. And I'll really push with my wrist on the throw to help develop, just the push. Because, like I said, that is the throw. The throw is the wrist. So you have to develop both of those. And the best way to develop them is to try to just isolate and just throw with the wrist. Just stand, throw, turn, and just push as hard as you can with the wrist right here. And I think after a while, you're going to start noticing that you're going to throw harder, from developing the wrist better. And a lot of it's just like this, so for the backhand, I'll just stand here and throw. And just kind of do that for a while. And just try to get the wrist firing as hard as you can. You just want to be relaxed right here, and then just hit it as hard as you can right here. And then when you come to a forehand, it's the same thing. So you throw the forehand, it's going to be the same thing. You just kind of set up and just push as hard as you can with your fingers. So it's like this. Just try to throw it using the wrist. But you really need to spend time developing, like I said, your wrist. Like I said, for me, when I throw, all my throwing starts from just a standstill, and I just try to pop it as hard as I can both directions before I get into any other, body movements on my throw. Because, through the years, I've gotten to where, I can pretty much just stand here and hit it, and I'm good for 300 feet on my forehand, and the backhand, same thing. You stand right here, and a good hit right here, 300 feet. But it's all from just trying to develop the wrist and getting it to, fire harder, and really just trying to develop this area of your arm. So I just recommend, like when you're practicing, just really concentrate on the arm, try to isolate it, just right here to here. You know, just isolate the arm and get used to just hitting it here and then here, just like that. So anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.